Hi, Bullfrogs. We are going to be drawing a haunted house today. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, so we're going to continue with that theme. And we're also going to continue to work on value, but we're going to introduce silhouette as well. Value is something that takes a lot of practice to master, so the more we do with it, the better we'll get. You will need a piece of paper turned landscape, so that's long ways, not tall. Something to draw with. I draw a marker so you can see it, but I would recommend a pencil for you so you can erase if you choose. And we're going to use either crayons or colored pencils for this. Markers are just not very good for value, as we've talked about with the last two lessons. I'm going to move my crayons out of the way for the drawing part. Set my drawing utensil aside. Because this drawing has a lot of detail in it, we're going to draw it a little bit smaller. So I want you to take your paper and fold it in half so it looks like a book. Some might also call it a hamburger fold. And then if you have a pair of scissors handy, you can go ahead and cut this paper because we're only going to be using half of it for our drawing today, or you can just leave it folded and turn it back landscape. So we want it long and skinny the whole time we're drawing. I'm going to grab my drawing utensil and I'm going to start with my horizon line. I want a hill coming from this side. I want to drop down and then go straight off the other side. Remember, if I'm going too fast for you, you're watching a video. So just pause, get caught up, and then hit play again. Alright, on my hill, I am going to put a tree. I don't want any leaves or anything on my tree. I'll start with the trunk, give it some branches. And it's kind of a spooky tree, so I want my branches to kind of end in a point. Branches have other branches that come off of them. I can add even more of those once I get it drawn. And there's my spooky looking tree. Alright, we're going to use a lot of shapes to draw our haunted house. And like I said, we're doing a silhouette, so we're not going to see all the details of the house. We're going to end up coloring the whole house black, so we only see the outline. So all these lines in the middle that might look funny at first, we're not even going to see those by the time we're done. So I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle. In front of my rectangle, I'm going to put a smaller rectangle. In the middle of my big rectangle, another rectangle. A lot of rectangles, I know. We're going to get some triangles in here in a minute. And then a third one. Kind of looks like a cake right now. For our rooftops, we want triangles, but instead of having really straight sides, we want them to kind of curve into the point. So I'm going to give my bottom line of my triangle. I'm going to curve in a little bit and up. Make sure it touches so it's a shape. And then curve down to the other side. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do that. I'm going to extend my rectangle a little bit here. And I'm going to curve it up and curve down right till I touch that rectangle there. Extend this here, curve up, and curve down. It's a haunted house, so if your shapes lean over or whatever, that's fine. It just makes it look more abandoned. An abandoned house wouldn't be well taken care of. It might be starting to fall down. So don't stress perfection here. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing to our little rectangle. Extend it a little, curve up, and back down. So we have our main structure of our house, we have our roofs, and now we need some windows. Circle window in the top, an arched window in the smallest rectangle there, two big windows side by side in our medium rectangle, some more arched windows over here, and then we're going to put our door in the center and two more windows. Alright, so we've got our spooky tree, we've got our haunted house. Now we're going to talk about the background. This is where the value is going to come into play. So I want you to fill the background with circles. So you start in the center with one. The more circles you have, the more values you're going to have. So I would draw big, not make your circles too close together, kind of space them out so you don't overwhelm yourself. So here's my big circle, and this is kind of like our moon, and then the sky, getting darker as it moves away from that big bright moon. So I'm going to leave a generous amount of space here, and I'm going to draw another circle. Notice I am not drawing through my house. So when I get to my house, I stop. And then I kind of have to fake it the rest of the way around. Same here with my circle. Even though the whole circle won't fit on the page, I'm kind of faking it and bringing it around. So I can't get a circle at all on here. It's going to kind of just look like a curved line. Leave some space, curve, hit my tree, jump over, keep curving until it hits the ground. Same thing on the other side, just like that. Then I think I can squeeze one more in here, just like that. Alright, so we are done with the drawing part. Now, you are going to make the whole house and the tree all black. Your windows are going to be yellow. So I'm going to put my marker aside. I'm going to grab my crayons. I'm going to find my yellow. I'm going to color those windows in. Nice and waxy, pushing hard to make sure I get a nice bold color. Now it's going to take me a while to color the black, so I'm actually going to stop recording, color my black, and then come back when it's done to talk about the value in the sky. Alright, so I have my silhouette all filled in. So silhouette just basically means that it is all black and you only see the outline of the object. So you only see the outside lines of our haunted house and our tree and our horizon line here. I forgot to mention that if you wanted to color in your haunted house with a black marker, you could do that. It might be faster. You do run the risk of your marker running out, so that's tricky, but it might be a little faster than with crayon, and it'll give you a much darker black than the crayon will. Alright, we're going to talk about the background now. So we're still showing value using one color, and I'm going to pick a color that I feel like would be good for the background, either something blue or purple. You don't have to do that. You can show value with any of your colors, but since it's the sky, I'm going to kind of stick to that range. And I can test my colors on the back if I'm trying to decide which ones are lighter or darker. I've done purple before, so I'm going to just grab some blues and test those out, and then see which ones I might want to use. And I don't want to just color one line, I want to kind of color a chunk. Those two are very similar, so I'm probably not going to use that one. Oh, that one's getting a little darker. So far I've got these three. That one's pretty dark, but it's kind of purple, so I don't know if I'm going to use it. That didn't go any darker. So it might just be these three. Let's see if this one's any lighter. Nope, kind of in the same color family as the first one. And that one's, again, leaning kind of towards the purple. So I'm going to go with these three. I'm going to set my crayons out of the way. Turn my artwork over. I'm going to leave the first one white. So I'm not coloring the first one at all. And then I'm going to color the second one. Now, if you don't have multiples of the same color, say you only have one blue instead of three blues, then you can also do this by applying more pressure to the same crayon. So coloring lightly on the first ring, coloring a little bit harder on the next one, a little bit harder as you continue to work out. So I'm going to color this one. Turning my paper as I go, trying to keep it the same direction so it's nice and neat, but make sure that I don't leave any white spots behind. Set that one aside. Now it looks like I'm going to need 4 different colors. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rings besides the first one, which I'm leaving white. So I'm going to have to repeat one of these. At which point you will see me show more pressure to one. Alright, so this is the color I'm going to actually use to make the darker value. So I've got my light, my medium, kind of my dark, but then I'm going to apply even more pressure. So this is what I was talking about. If you just had one crayon, you can make it darker or lighter by changing how hard you push when you are coloring. So by pushing harder on this layer, making it waxier, I can make this one appear to be darker. And that's it. We've